I'm under the waves and I am under the weather. I'm under the pump and I am under the pressure, and I am under the spell of this life lived in leisure, and I am underperforming and I'm so under-pleasured, and I am under the waves and I am under the weather. I'm under the pump and I am under the pressure, and
How did you guys come across each other?
Well, it was actually through work. I was working at the RMIT Student Union, and we were hiring a new clubs and societies officer, and I remember having a drink with our friend Danielle, who was also working at the Student Union and on the interviewing panel, and she mentioned that they decided to hire a lovely young chap called Tom Dickens. And I said, Tom Dickens! He's only allowed to work here if he wears tweed jackets with leather patches on the elbows. And so Tom started work, and we really just became friends straight away. We hit it off.
And I think our friendship was early built just around cigarette breaks. And that's actually how we ended up starting playing together.
sleep now, oh, sleep now, can we sleep now? We can sleep now, can't we? Sleep now, can't we sleep now? Can't we sleep now? Oh, sleep now, can't we sleep now? We can sleep now. Oh, sleep now, can't we sleep now? We can sleep.
I mean, the first time we played together, it was just so apparent that there was amazing chemistry there. And that's why, I mean, doing the show was a great first step for us, playing together. But it was so clear that we needed to be writing music together and sort of drawing things out of each other as performers that you can't really do on your own.
She bakes vegan, feminist cookies and eats them ironically to stick it to the man.
And she rides home on a bicycle made from recycled fair trade coffee grinders from her ex-favourite cafe.
She doesn't go there anymore, having decided that the life drawing classes held there are too gender binary.
Her final crown portrait had been entitled Woman with Penis.
She works at an organic produce store and she campaigns at her employers daily to serve all of their foods out of dumpsters to encourage a healthier variety of food to her friends from the Anti-Everything Collective.
When she arrives home, her boyfriend is there.
No, not boyfriend. That denies his innate right to be genderqueer.
When she arrives home, her partner is there.
No, not partner. That sounds way too corporate.
When she arrives home, her lover is there.
No, see, lover makes him sound like an object, and their love is far less restrictive than that. And besides, it might imply that he is one of many. Not that there's anything wrong with polygamy. Polygamy is absolutely fine, so long as you have the understanding and consent of every fucking person involved.
When she arrives home, Roy is there. He's baking a free-range tofu scramble because you know how ethically they treat tofu on some of those farms.
He grows his own weed, and he sings to his plants, and he tells them that he doesn't care what gender they are. He just has a different kind of love for those that produce bud.
They sit at home and they watch their TV. It is broken, but they watch it anyway to remind themselves of the right-wing media saturation which is strangling this imperialist country.
They wear badges for every cause, which is really hard when you're a nudist.
They fall asleep in the graffiti patterns of Karl Marx ideologies and dreaming of freedom.
And free range.
And freedom.
And freegans. Oh, and then they dream of how good the world would look if everyone was as good to it as they were.
The phrase, the Jane Austen argument. What does it mean, and what does it mean to you guys?
Well, I guess because of the way that we write and perform together, there is a dynamic between us that kind of exists between you know, the love and respect that we have for each other as friends, but this...
We sort of adopt personas almost when we're rehearsing particularly, but also in our performances. For particularly poignant moments of songs, we will almost become the protagonist or the antagonist to the other person's storytelling. So the concept of argument is something that we really enjoy playing with, that friction.
Yeah, and exploring, you know, something that we're both very passionate about in different ways, and finding where that intersects.
Yeah, bringing both our personal relationship and our enjoyment of theatrics into the way that we play and, you know, rehearse.
Have I become, and where is my mother? Oh, bring my sticks, bring my spices, so I may build this burning fire.
This show for this year's Melbourne Fringe is called The Spaces Between. How did you arrive at the songs that are in this show and the name that's derived from them?
Well, it was during the Adelaide Fringe Festival.
We woke up one horribly hungover morning in the Adelaide Fringe Festival. Something like this.
Only to realise we had a radio interview in 12 minutes, so we stumbled out of bed and into the studio.
My lips were still glued together by last night's red wine and memories of flirtations with someone.
Everyone.
Fuck off, Jen. The first question of the whole bloody interview.
So, what do you write your songs about?
I could have hit the interviewer. What do we write our songs about? Angst, hate, lust and betrayal. You know, love. Sometimes we write songs about bad radio interviewers with bad questions, bad teeth, bad braces, bad hair, who are destined for a life of loneliness and solitude. Thankfully that didn't actually come out of my mouth. But then something magical happened. In the pure honesty and clarity that only comes when you think you're about to die, Jen pulled the perfect answer out of the hum-over fog.
We write about the spaces between people. Emotional space, physical space, temporal space.
And that simple statement, threw all of our writing, all of our running, and all of our conversation into a stark new light.
We began seeing everything we wrote, felt and reacted to in terms of spaces and our relationships to them. We map out the distance between us, between lovers, between family, between friends.
And why are you not in Melbourne? It's colder here, you know, and the stars are obscured by the sky. And why are you not in Melbourne? There's art in the streets. Put your feet somewhere close to my floor. And why are you